Hello everyone, I'm Fahim, and today I'll tell you what are the 10 skills that you definitely need to develop during your PhD. Number one, saying yes to opportunities. During your PhD, many a time several opportunities will knock at your door. You need to develop a skill that you have to say yes to the relevant opportunities. For example, many IT firms like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they offer summer internship for PhD students. You need to have these kind of opportunities under your radar and you need to apply for them. Number two, resilience. Your PhD will test you in many different ways. You will receive paper rejections, you will receive criticism from your supervisors and for your lab mates. You will also come across many different things that will upset you. You need to develop a thick skin because if you can easily get carried away by such kind of moments, it will really damage your PhD productivity. Number three, reviewing papers for journals and conferences. One of the most important skill for a PhD student is critical thinking, which means that you should be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of research piece. The best way to develop this skill is to review papers for journals and conferences. Now, you don't need to wait for them to reach out to you. Rather, you reach out to them, to the conference organizers, to the editors of the journals that you are willing to review papers for them. Number four, effective communication. One of the most underrated skill for PhD students is communication. You will realize its importance after your PhD that how important it is to communicate complex ideas in simple terms. For example, when you will be teaching as an academic, it's really important that you have the ability to communicate things in a proper and organized way to your students. Number five, entrepreneurship. Now, this might come as a surprise that why entrepreneurship is important for PhD students, but it is. You should have the ability to identify that how I can sell my research piece to another person, how I can pitch my ideas, how I can pitch for grants, and how I can kind of convince others. In other words, if you have the ability to sell your research, then that is amazing. Number six, takeaways from conferences and workshops. Now, during your PhD, you will visit many conferences, you will visit many workshops, you will attend many different events. Don't go there just to present your paper or just to present your poster. Make a list of things that you want to take away from that conference. You do not want to travel from one end of the world to another end of the world just to make a 10-minute presentation. You can do many different things. For example, you can develop new collaborations, you can do networking, you can try to learn how people present their papers, you can try to learn how people make their posters, and so on. Number seven, supervision. Now, once you start your academic job after your PhD, you will have to supervise students, you will have to supervise master students, you will have to supervise PhD students. This skill you can develop during your PhD. How you can develop? The best way is to define small projects that are linked to your PhD, then advertise them so that master students and undergrad students can work on them and you supervise them. So it serves two purposes. You get to have part of your PhD executed by them, and also you get to have the chance to supervise these students. Presentation. As a PhD student, you will have to make presentations every now and then, be it in conferences, be it to your research lab, and in other such moments. My understanding is that there is no running away from presentations. I understand that at times it is perhaps not the cup of tea for everyone, but there is no running away from it. So why not to learn it? And PhD is a very good time where you can develop the skill of how to present properly. Number nine, paying attention to details. Now, this is a very rare skill, and PhD is a very good time to develop it. What it means is that nothing bigger or smaller goes missing under your radar. If you are doing research, try to reflect on, a 360-degree reflection that how your methodology looks like, what are your findings, how the findings can correlate, And pay attention to these small things that might be flagged by, let's suppose, reviewers or by supervisors. So do pay attention to these small details. Number 10, research. Now, the primary purpose of your PhD is that to make an independent researcher out of you. So while doing all these other things, while developing all these other skills, do not forget to learn how to do proper research. Thank you, and I wish you all the best for your PhD.